Hello guys, welcome to YouTube channel for Mania. So in today's video, we are gonna unbox the Iqoo C5. So this is the Arctic down color. That means almost the white, creamy white color of the Iqoo C5. So let's start the unboxing. So guys, here we are getting an Iqoo logo over here. That means a paper box. And let's see what do we get in that box. And it's some paperwork, important information and warranty card. Then some quick start guide and all, and we are getting a case, a transparent case. Wow, nice to see that. And let's keep everything aside and let's take the phone. Sorry. So this is the Iqoo C5 in its Arctic down color. You could see, really nice. Let's keep this aside and let's look at what do we get in the box. And here we are getting a SIM ejector tool over here, and then Type-C data cables, and then a charger of just 44-watt charger. You could see 44-watt charger. Glad it would be a 65-watt charger, I wish. But that's all for the box, and let's keep the box aside and let's look at the phone. So guys, this is the Iqoo C5. Apart from this color, we do also have another color too, but actually I really like this finish. Wow, it looks really nice, guys. You could see it's a sort of glossy, I would say glossy whitish creamy color, and it's having a light gradient finish to that. You could see if I just do this. So meanwhile, so we can just set up the phone and later on we can just come back. Okay guys, the Iqoo logo. So guys, meanwhile I will be also comparing this with the Realme GT Master Edition as well as the Mi 11 Lite NE 5G2. Okay, so it's loading. Yes, it's done guys. So guys, first of all, I will start from the cons of the device. So let's start from the cons. I won't say cons, I would say that areas of improvement. Okay, so first of all, this is not a glass bag, so this is a sort of a plastic bag. So you are getting a plastic bag, a plastic frame, and as well as if you think of this Corning Gorilla Glass protection, then it's not guys, it's just a Panda Glass protection. So first, this is a plastic bag. That's obviously fine for this range. That means 23K, it's almost fine, I would say. But plastic frame, that's also manageable, but this, it should be, I would say it should be a Corning Gorilla Glass 5, but the Panda Glass, it's also nice. So I would glad it gave the Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection at least. And the next thing is regarding the weight, guys. So actually it's not actually I won't say it's a con, having a weight of 193 grams. So if you are a person who is looking for a very compact, I would say weightless phone, then the best phone would be for you is the Mi 11 Lite 5G. It's just weight 158 grams versus this guy is 193, close to 200 grams versus just 158 grams. So that's super light, as well as the thickness of this guy is 8.5 mm. And if you ask me about Mi 11 Lite 5G, it is just 6.8 mm, guys. So it's really great, guys. And as well as it's also got the IP53 rating. This has not any this has never got any resistance. As well as it's also having CG5, that means Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection on the front and back, whereas this guy goes Panda Glass as well as a plastic back. So I won't say this is as a con, but I think it should improve the areas like the plastic back as well as the front. Actually Iqoo uses either Scotch and Session Panda Glass in most of their series around the 30 40k, even 40k. Okay, then let's move to the next thing. That's I would say the display itself, guys. So actually the display is really nice. Actually, if you didn't observe really close, then you couldn't find the difference between the IPS LCD versus AMOLED. So I will just play a video right now. So let me open a video. So this is so guys, this is the Iqoo Z5. And let me talk about the display. So it's 1080x2400 with 395 ppi HDR10. And guys, the colors seems to be really nice. And actually one more thing you should do is that on the display settings, so let me go to the display settings, and over display settings you could go to display and brightness, and over here you could see let me take the screen color. So it's by default it would be on standard. You should put it on bright for the maximum because it's an IPS LCD. So for the maximum vividness and punchiness, you should put on bright. So okay, so this is on bright. Okay, let's once again. Okay, let me open the video once again really quick. Yes, so you could see, guys, now there is a lot difference. The color seems to be really punchy, you could see. So if you ask me, is there any worth noticeable difference between IPS LCD versus AMOLED, then I would say no, but there is a 5 to 10% difference. Actually, currently I'm using that bright mode in the skin colors for optimizing the difference between or managing gap between the IPS LCD versus AMOLED. But at a glance, you won't notice the difference between IPS LCD versus AMOLED, but glad it should have an AMOLED display. But it's okay. Okay, so the next, let's move to the next thing. So I would say it's as the camera. So it's a camera with 64 megapixel camera and it's of f aperture 1.8, but it doesn't have an OIS. But if you ask me OIS at this price segment, that's obviously fine. But I would say it's really nice, done the job really nice with the help of stabilization modes, because in video you could see there is a mode over here that shows standard stabilization as well as ultra stable. The ultra stable mode is really nice. I would show an example right now really quick. Okay, you could see. So play once again. So this is on ultra stable. Okay, so you can notice the shutters over there. Actually, even with the help of the ultra stable mode, it couldn't manage the stabilization really, but still with the help of the modes it's have done the job really nice. But I would say with OIS it's much better, but still it's managed to be pretty well, seems with these mono speakers, sorry, seems with this stabilization modes over here. And then the next thing is a slow charging, guys. Actually this guy has just got 44-watt charger, so it's take approximately, I would say it take about nearly 50 to 55 minutes for taking full charge. As we compare the Realme GT Max Edition, in just 30 minutes it can go from 1% to 100%. So in terms of charging speeds, I would say it's a bit low, but in terms of battery backup, it's done the job really nice with the 5000 mAh of battery. That's perfectly fine. I would at least it should have a 65-watt charger, and around 30 or 35 minutes it should have the 30, or at least 40 minutes it should have the full charge. But it's okay. Okay, and then the next thing is the side fingerprint scanner, which I'm feeling. So actually this is side fingerprint scanner. So most people use this side fingerprint scanner like this. So no one registers the finger. Some only mine, very few users. So you have just a single finger for the entire access of the phone. So I would see if it was an in-display fingerprint scanner, then I would say it was really awesome. But the fast, as you could see, it's really responsive. In 3, 2, 1 and go. Okay, that's once again in 3, 2, 1 and go. Okay, so it's really fast, and I would say in terms of areas of improvement, I would say if this was an in-display film, then it would be much better. Then the next thing is regarding the future-proof segment. That means that 5G bands, it just got two 5G bands, guys, N77 and N78. Actually, if you ask me, currently the phones which have labeled 5G are not just labeled 5G, they have at least 6 or 8 5G bands, but this guy just got two. But probably these are the two 5G bands that would be arriving on the in India. So take it with a pinch of salt, but still I would say it should have at least a 6 or 8 5G bands, but still it just have two. So these are the cons or the areas of improvement which I really felt need to be improved. So I will just conclude once more. So regarding the plastic bag, then the Corning Gorilla Glass, not the Corning Gorilla Glass display, it's a Panda Glass. And then the weight, it would be depends upon the user which you use. And then the display, it's an IPS LCD display, and then just two 5G bands and no OIS. And then slow charging, I would say, because 44-watt charger is available. And the next thing would be the what we call it, yeah. So that's all. So that's all regarding the cons of the phone. Now let's look at the pros. So this is the Iqoo Z5, and it is, first of all, I would say it is a really nice one. First of all, I would go into a mode called Ultra Game mode. So actually, this is made for the gamers, for the hardcore gamers, and the gaming experience is really nice. Actually, I would say the 4D gamer version. Actually, you could set it up into any games. Actually, let me give you a sample preview. So guys, this is how the phone looks in the game slide bar. You could see there is a 4D game vibration, and once I just tap on this guy, you could see. So over here you could assign, that means you could assign any two buttons, and on pressing the buttons you would get the 4D vibration, as well as this is an esports mode which enhances the maximum performance, just such as we tell the managing the FPS as well as the temperature of the phone, then managing the touch response rates, as well as managing the accident touches and all. Then in the eagle eye view, that means it's a sort of increasing the dynamic range to experience the maximum out of this phone. So these are the default settings which is available. So we have a balanced mode as well as monster mode for the maximum experience. Okay, so the ultra gaming mode on this guy is really nice. And the next thing is regarding the touch sampling rate. So I would show you the touch sampling rate. So you could see it is around 360. So 360 minus the screen refresh rate, so that would be 120 hertz. So display and all the up to, so 360 minus 120, so that's exactly 240 hertz of touch response rate. And one more thing is there, guys, if you didn't add the particular application, that means I would suggest you to add the Facebook, Instagram, those pages you scroll more. I would suggest you to add to the ultra game mode. That's I will show you. So currently the touch multi-touch application is already added. So this is the ultra game mode. So let me remove from this ultra game mode, and now let's check the touch sampling rate. So you are getting just 240 hertz. That means 240 minus 120. So you're just 120 hertz if the application is not in the ultra game mode. But once you enable the application ultra game mode, it would be switched back to the. So let me add, and if you add the game to the ultra game, that means that gaming mode, then it would be back to the 240 hertz of touch sampling rate. So I would suggest that you should add the whole list of apps which you play more, I would say, if you scroll more. So that means the touch sampling rate increases the responsiveness as well as the quality of the user experience. Okay. So that's the 240 hertz of touch sampling rate. And then the next thing is this having UFS 3.1 as well as the LPDDR5 storage. I would quickly show you the speeds right now. So what to do benchmark. Let's be really fast. Storage test and test again. So you could see over there it's a UFS showing UFS 3.1 storage. And if you compare the Melon Lite 5G as well as the Realme GT Master, it just got UFS 2.2. So glad this guy got 58,799. So close to 60,000 scores over there. So UFS 3.1 storage. So that's also really nice, guys. And the next thing is regarding the battery backup. So it's got 5,000 mAh of battery. That's perfect for the all-day gamers as well as high-end usage lovers and all. And then if you ask me about the UI, camera UI, actually I really like this UI because it's got live photo mode as well as pro mode, 64 dedicated mode, dual view which you can record front and back at exact same time. Then in terms of video you got really nice stabilization modes, but the lack of OIS is still seen over there. But I would show you some camera samples really quick. So you could see it could go really close to subject in the 64 MB mode, and the photo seems to be really nice. You could see it's a bokeh mode, and you have some pre-installed filters, or I would say pre-installed portraits. So it's not overshadowing. The colors are seems to be really nice, and it's a macro mode, and that's a 2 megapixel macro. That's really nice. And see. The colors overall, I really like the colors. It's almost close to nature, and we also get a live mode which is also same as that we see on iPhones and all. Just press and hold. So it takes a 2 seconds behind and after the photo is taken, and then the stabilization as already shown. And the ultra wide shot, I would say it's okay, but still it need to be improved because just having an 8 MP camera. Okay. And next regarding the processor, it's having the Snapdragon 788. It's a 6 nanometer, and I would say about the CPU throttling, if you compare the Dimensity 1200 directly, and I would say I would prefer the Dimensity 1200 for its what we call its peak performance, but for the stable performance I would suggest for going for the Snapdragon 788, because it's just happened at throttling up just 88%. Meanwhile in the Dimensity 1200 it just throttled to nearly 72%. That means high throttling, nearly 30% of throttling versus just 15. That means half the throttling if you compare with the Dimensity 1200. Still a nice performance, but in the peak performance department the Dimensity 1200 is ahead of this Snapdragon 888. So now let's, and as well as the 4D game vibration is really nice, as well as the linear mode with the help of the linear mode right out. And it's also, let's check the star value, star hash 07 hash. Okay, star hash 07 hash, and it would be 0.81 for the head and 0.54. Wow, surprisingly low, guys. And let's look at one more feature that's called the RAM extension feature. So it's over here about, you could see you could extend 8 plus 4. That means if you are buying at the 12256 variant, then you are getting 12 plus 4 GB of RAM in this phone. So currently I'm having 828 GB variant. Still you could see the RAM is 8 plus 4. Actually, if you ask me, is it really RAM? I would say it's a sort of RAM assistant or RAM helper. And now moving to the final verdict, is the Iqoo C5 worth buying for 23,999 for the 828? And I would say it's depend, guys. If you're a gamer, then it's an extra me because of the cooling, as well as the UFS 3.1 and LPDDR5, and with the 4D game vibration and consistent performance in the department at 244 stats. So everything makes for the gamer it's perfect. And then in terms of camera, I would say if you look at this budget, everyone doesn't have OIS, so it's also managed without the OIS. But without the OIS, it's the stabilization modes are really nice on this guy, so it's an S from me. But in terms of front camera, I'm okay, but I'm not satisfied. The front camera is really nice on the OnePlus Note 2, as well as the Realme GT Master got the offer of 21,000, and the upcoming Diwali offer is also coming for the Realme GT Master. So if you are looking for that one, you could stay tuned. As well as the Realme GT Master also got this guy, the AMOLED display versus just IPS LCD on this guy. And then the next thing is the build, guys. So if you are looking for really interesting build quality, as well as the compact, as well as the light phone, then I would suggest going for the Mi 11 Lite NE5G, because that's really nice. It's a feather phone, guys. It's perfect for ladies, and what we call, it's really nice. And if you won't realize that you are holding a phone, so that much slim is that phone. I'm really fond of that phone, as well as it's also a 10-bit display versus the normal 8-bit display which on the Realme GT Master and most of the phones out there. Okay, so, and then it's also got a headphone jack as well as speakers. Okay, then that was a point which I have missed. Actually, I would show the speaker quality also really quick. Let me move to the file manager. Okay, where is it? File. Okay, so files are here, and moving to the audio, and let's play. So guys, speakers, dual stereo speakers are there, so everything I really like. But the cons which I mentioned, if it doesn't matter for you, such as the IPS LCD, you couldn't really tell the difference, as well as the build plastic along with the Panda glass, it doesn't matter, as well as just two 5G bands, almost not future proof, I would say. But it depends which band does the 5G arise on India and all. And side fingerprint scanner, slow charging means approximately about 45 to 55 minutes around its charging. Okay, and that's all, guys. So that's all regarding the unboxing and the pros and cons of the Iqoo Z5. So guys, I have already done the review, that means comparison the Realme GT Master versus Mi 11 X in that offer and all, so kindly do check out that. So that's all for today, guys. Signing off, it's Phone Mania.